1 year ago, I made a mistake. I married Jessica, a woman I don't love. It's hard to admit, especially now when everything has already fallen apart. But I need to tell this story. Maybe it will help someone. Maybe it'll stop someone from making the same mistake I did. Jessica and I met through mutual friends. It wasn't fireworks or anything romantic at first. She was polite, calm, and easy to talk to. She was the kind of woman every man says he wants when he's tired of drama. She wasn't flashy. She didn't demand too much. She listened more than she spoke. She was decent, stable, predictable. And I was tired. Tired of failed relationships. Tired of women who said they loved me but left when things got hard. Tired of the loneliness that crept in every time I came back to an empty house. So when I started spending time with Jessica, everything felt quiet, peaceful, too peaceful maybe. We dated for 6 months. Honestly, I felt nothing intense during those months. No passion, no butterflies, but I kept telling myself, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe love isn't meant to feel like a storm. Maybe peace is better than passion. Maybe love grows slowly, like a tree. And everyone around me loved her. She's wife material, my mom said. You don't need all that excitement. Just find someone who'll give you peace. Jessica is a gem, my friend told me. You won't find anyone more loyal or more respectful. So when I proposed, it wasn't because I couldn't imagine life without her. It was because everyone told me she was what I needed. I believed them. I thought I was doing the right thing. Our wedding was beautiful. Family and friends gathered. Music played. People danced. Jessica wore a white gown with lace sleeves. She looked radiant. She smiled so much that day. I wish I could say my heart was full, but honestly, I felt like I was floating above it all, just going through the motions. We moved into our new home. Jessica was excited. She decorated the living room, arranged the kitchen, filled the wardrobes. She talked about our future, about kids, about travel. She even started calling me babe, and smiled every time she said it. But something in me refused to respond. I'd nod, I'd smile, I'd say the right words, but inside, I felt nothing. The worst part was, I started resenting her for it, for being so nice, for loving me, for expecting me to love her back. At night, she'd reach out to cuddle. I'd pretend to be asleep. In the mornings, she'd prepare breakfast. I'd eat quickly and rush off to work, avoiding eye contact. She'd call me during lunch breaks. I'd silence the phone. She'd wait up for me at night. I'd come home late on purpose. And every time I did, her eyes would search mine for something, love, warmth, even attention. But I had nothing to give. I was emotionally bankrupt. Then, one night, as we sat on the couch watching a movie, she turned to me and asked, "Do you love me?" I wasn't ready for that question. I looked at her, and I couldn't lie. I didn't say no, but I didn't say yes, either. I just looked away. She didn't cry. She didn't argue. She just got up quietly, went to the bedroom, and closed the door. That night, I lay on the couch and stared at the ceiling. Guilt punched holes in my chest. I knew I was hurting her. I knew I was slowly killing her spirit. But I also knew that if I tried to fake it, it would only make things worse. From that night, things started to shift. She stopped calling me at work. She stopped asking where I was going or when I'd be home. She stopped serving me dinner. She even stopped praying out loud like she used to. She had become a shadow in the house, silent, cold, fading. And that scared me. Not because I missed her attention, but because I realized how badly I had damaged a good woman. I remember one morning, I found her sitting on the balcony alone. Her eyes were swollen. She didn't say a word when I walked by, but I could tell she had cried all night. I wanted to say something, to comfort her, to lie even, but I didn't, because I still didn't know how to love her. I was still chasing a version of love that I had seen in movies. The loud, passionate kind. The kind that makes your heart race and your palms sweat. But Jessica didn't make me feel that way. And I thought that meant she wasn't the one. Until the day she left. It was a Saturday morning. I came home from the gym, and the house was silent. Unusually silent. I called her name, but there was no answer. Then I saw it, a letter on the dining table. Her wedding ring placed gently on top. I deserve to be loved. The letter began. And I know now that you're not the man who can love me the way I need. I stayed longer than I should have, hoping things would change. But I've realized that staying is slowly breaking me. I'm leaving not in anger, but in peace. I hope one day you understand what you had. I hope you heal. I hope I do too. I dropped into the chair and held my head in my hands. For the first time since the marriage began, I cried. Not because she left, but because she was right. She did deserve to be loved. Completely, unconditionally. And I never gave her that chance. Now it's been 6 months. The house is still. No scent of freshly cooked food. No humming from the kitchen. No footsteps in the hallway. Just silence. And regret. Looking back now, I realize love isn't always butterflies or fireworks. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it looks like service, patience, and small daily sacrifices. Jessica loved me in the best way she knew how. But I was too blind to see it. Maybe I'll never see her again. Maybe she's found someone who truly sees her, values her, loves her. I hope so. Because Jessica didn't just walk away from a marriage. She walked away from being unloved. And maybe, just maybe, that was the bravest thing she ever did. The days after she left felt unreal. I kept thinking she'd call, that she'd come back for her clothes, that I'd hear the front door creak and her familiar footsteps return. But days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, and Jessica never came back. Her side of the wardrobe remained untouched. At first, I refused to open it. But one day I did. I stood there, staring at the clothes she left behind, neatly folded, like she wanted to leave with grace, not chaos. Her favorite dress still hung on the far side. A soft lavender dress she wore on our second date. I remember it because it was the first time I noticed how warm her smile was. I sat on the bed and finally let everything out. The weight of regret crushed me. How could I not love a woman like her? Why did I convince myself that emotional fireworks mattered more than emotional safety? The house became a prison of memories. Every corner reminded me of the things I took for granted. The kitchen, where she once made me pepper soup when I was sick. The dining table, where she'd wait patiently for me to get off the phone so we could eat together. The bathroom mirror, where she used to leave little sticky notes with messages like, "Have a good day, babe." She was thoughtful, present, loyal, and I treated her like an option. I started dreaming about her. Not romantic dreams, just moments. Her laughter echoing in the hallway. The way she'd bite her lip when she was focused on something. How she'd lay her hand on mine during prayers. All the things I didn't know I'd miss until they were gone. One night, I sat on the floor of our bedroom, now my bedroom, and wrote her a letter. I didn't know where to send it. She had cut all ties. But I needed to say something, even if no one would read it. Dear Jessica, I don't expect forgiveness, but I need you to know this. I was wrong. I was selfish. I thought love had to feel like a fireworks show, loud, bright, and exciting. But you taught me something I never understood, that love can also be quiet, steady, and healing. I didn't love you then, but I think a part of me is learning to love the memory of you now. And it hurts, because I know I had the real thing and threw it away. You were more than enough. I just wasn't ready. I hope you found peace, real peace. I pray that wherever you are, you're surrounded by the kind of love you gave so freely. I don't deserve a second chance. I just needed to say thank you, and I'm sorry. David. I folded the letter and placed it in the drawer beside my bed. That's where it still is months later. Sometimes we ruin good things not because they're bad, but because we're broken, because we confuse peace with boredom, because we're not taught how to recognize healthy love. I've started therapy now, trying to figure out why I felt the way I did, trying to understand the walls I built inside me. It's slow, it's painful, but it's necessary. Because if I ever love again, really love, I don't want to love with half my heart. I don't want to repeat the past. Jessica taught me that real love isn't loud. It's consistent. It's the breakfast made before you wake up. The prayers whispered on your behalf. The silent forgiveness after you've been distant. The effort even when the other person is hard to love. She gave me all that, and I let her go.